Welcome to the Sales Influence Podcast, where we talk about finding the why in how people buy. I'm your host, Victor Antonio. Thank you for joining me today. Super excited about being with you here today. And as always, thank you for leaving me some feedback. Those of you who left me feedback on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, I really do appreciate you. So today, I want to talk about a question that I get a lot, and I get this, via email a lot. And people are always asking me, said, Victor, how can I increase my sales revenues? In other words, how can I increase the amount of business I close? Now, too often when I get these emails, there's not enough context in there, right? So I get two extremes. One is I get no context, which means I really can't help you if you just ask me, hey, Victor, how do I increase sales? Because that really depends on what you're selling, so I really can't help you. Then I get the other extreme. The other extreme is I've gotten emails that are about 2 or 3 pages long, and somebody wants me to analyze their full strategy. And again, without being there, without being in the mix, so to speak, it's hard for me to give you advice. So let us zoom back and let's talk about the 3 things, what I call the 3 domains of expertise that you need to master in order to sell more effectively, regardless of what you're selling. Now, here it is. It's really simple, and I've talked about this many times in the past, but I think it's worth repeating. These are the 3 things that if you know these 3 things, you will automatically sell more effectively. And here they are. The first one, the obvious one, you gotta know your product or service. Let's say product. If you're selling a product, I really need you to know your product. I had someone approach me last week, said, Victor, what do I do if my company doesn't offer any training? What do you think my response was? My response was simply, well, train yourself. Again, look, salespeople, you are like an individual business unit. You have to take responsibility for your own financial destiny. And by that I mean, if the company doesn't offer you training, train yourself. Invest in yourself. Again, it's an investment. It's not a cost. Spend the money. I've had people say, well, Victor, I'm going to try to get my company to buy the Sales Mastery Academy, my platform, right? I hear that a lot. I'm going to see if my company will buy me access to the Sales Mastery Academy, which is great if your company will pay for it. But in the end, it is up to you to take care of your own training. Because again, when you learn how to sell, when you learn really how to sell, that is an asset that you take with you to your next career and throughout your career. So again, it's an asset that gains value, does not depreciate over time, gains value. So again, invest in yourself. When it comes to the product, invest time in understanding the product. If the company doesn't offer training, so what? Find somebody who's an expert. Every company has experts in there. Talk to them. Take them out to lunch. Take them out for a cup of coffee. Really suck them dry. I mean that. Suck them dry for all the information. Keep going back. If you didn't get everything you wanted on the first try, take them back out for another, lunch or cup of coffee. Whatever you need to do to get the information. It's one thing to get product information off a brochure, off a training manual, but I'm telling you, the best type of knowledge is talking to people who've sold the product well and really know how to position it with the client. So, know your product. Number 2 in the 3 domains of expertise is know the market. Ooh, this is a tougher one, but this is where you start to differentiate the weak salespeople from the strong salespeople. Strong salespeople know that they have to understand the market. What is going on in the market? For example, if you're in the telecom business, then you need to know what's going on in telecommunications. What are some of the changes happening in the market? Who are some of the new competitors in the market? What are some of the regulations, the changes? How do you find this information? You subscribe to either the magazines or the blogs. Again, that's where you find this information. Subscribe to magazines, subscribe to blogs, follow people on the social media channels who you see as experts, because that's what I do. So again, follow people who have the content. Find out what's going in the market. Again, get on newsletter feeds from, top organizations within your market segment. If you're in the direct selling business, again, the same thing. Sign up for their websites, get up online, find magazines, find, feeds on social media that talk about what's happening in the direct selling market. If you understand what's happening in the market and you combine it with your product knowledge, there's a good 1-2, which leads us to the third thing. The third domain of expertise is the big one. You got to know your clients. Now, let's take a moment with this one. When I say you got to know your clients, I mean you have to know your clients, which means you have to get into their head. You have to take almost that POV, that point of view selling. You have to be the customer. Yes, I want you to be the customer. In your head, be the customer. Put yourself in their situation. What are they going through? What do they have to deal with? What are their anxieties? What do they want to know? What are they trying to solve? What are they trying to do? Am I trying to increase my revenue? Am I trying to figure out ways to reduce my costs? Am I trying to find ways to expand my market share? What is that customer, thinking? What are their concerns? I'm worried about changing over. I'm worried about using a new software. I'm worried about doing this. When it comes to your product, what are they worried about? Think about it. Put yourself in that position. You're the customer. You're buying your product or your service. What are you thinking? Where are your anxieties coming from? Is the product going to work? Is this service going to work? Is this a good company to go with? Is this the right one? Is now a good time? All these things is what the customer's thinking about. And if you can embed that as part of your presentation, resolve, block those objections, as I show you in my Sales Mastery Academy, block those objections, then you will be a more effective salesperson. So that's it. 3 domains of expertise. Know the product, know the market, and really get to know your clients. And that's it for the Sales Influence Podcast. Don't forget to leave me some feedback on iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Let me know what you think. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, check out my online sales training platform I've already mentioned, the Sales Mastery Academy. Over 25 courses, 300 plus videos, 13 of my books, including my new book, Sales Ex Machina: How Artificial Intelligence is Changing the World of Selling. So if you're serious about increasing your sales ability, go to salesmasteryacademy.us. That's salesmasteryacademy.us. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care. Hi, I'm Victor Antonio. I'm an author, sales trainer, and keynote speaker. I'm often asked, what makes a great speaker? Is it someone who delivers real content that the audience can use? Is it someone who engages the audience so they're part of the learning experience? Or is it someone who can motivate an audience to push them beyond their comfort zone and discover new abilities? The answer is yes. But the most important thing to remember is that I'm not there to look good. I'm there to make my client look good. Simply put, it's never about me, and it's always about them.